I'm working on a disappearing 4-patch block right now. This block starts out as a classic 4-patch that is cut into thirds vertically and horizontally and then reassembled as a 9-patch. The disappearing blocks are very fun and the results always look like you've done a lot more complex piecing than you really have. Watch along and I will show you how easily you can attain a perfect match every time you join quilt block sections in the hoop. Queen of Stitching blocks always use Color Change 1 to present all of the stitching and cutting guides that you need for the entire block or the block section that you're working on. Unraveling the mystery of perfectly matched seams is as easy as learning to understand and use these guides. The display on my embroidery machine makes it easy for me to advance my needle position to the first critical match point in the section that I'm joining. All I need to do is look for the exact intersection point and stop when I get to it. And what I want to see is my needle dropping down right in the center of the seam that joins my top and my bottom patch. If your needle does not hit precisely at the center of the seam, it means that your stabilizer probably wasn't hooped tightly enough and you've had some movement. You should adjust your positioning until the needle drop is at the exact center of the seam. Next, I'll raise my needle and then I'll remove my hoop from the machine. With my hoop off of the machine, I've taken a straight pin. I've inserted it at the very point of the 90-degree angle that's marked by my cutting and my stitching guides. And when I turn my piece over, you can see that the pin is popping through right at the intersection of the 2 patches. So now I'll turn my sections back over and I will place the pin through the left side section that's in the hoop exactly at the same intersection and push it on through all the way to the back. What I can see, and it's difficult for the camera to actually pick up, is that my match is really perfect. And so since I'm happy with it, I don't need to adjust anything. So I'm going to roll my section back over again and secure it in place with a couple pieces of transparent tape. I have my hoop back on my machine and I'm going to back my needle position up 3 or 4 stitches and then I'm going to stitch out 3 or 4 stitches. So now I'm going to loosen my hoop and roll my fabric back and take a look at how I did. And I couldn't be happier. It's an exact match. So I'm going to put my hoop back in the machine. And I'm going to return my needle position to the first stitch in the seam line. And I'm going to drop my needle to make sure that the needle drops right in the corner of the 90-degree angle for the corner. Next, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to stitch out the seam. And there you have it. So let's take this out of the machine and take a look and see how we've done. I removed my stabilizer from the right hand side and removed my fabric from my hoop, and as you can see, my sections are perfectly matched, and now I'm going to continue working on my disappearing 4-patch block. So before you join sections when you're quilting in the hoop, take a minute and make sure that you've got the perfect match.